this essentially is like second part of the like today's session, where I'll be like, so though I just mentioned the syllabus here, I know like most of you would have seen, but according to these subjects we have read in our graduation, so I have given like division of this subject in this Insights IAS website itself, and also the reference materials, the textbooks we may refer, everything I have given there in the website itself. So there you can watch for the syllabus, correct? Now, so the program I-ARI. Now we have discussed about like what are the practical challenges we have, why there is less selection, and what are the mistakes we are making, and what are the challenges usually the candidates are going to face, correct? Now how this program it is going to solve or else like give solution for all those things, that is what I am going to explain. Like if you have seen the poster, I have told that at least more than 100 PYQs we are going to discuss. In other words, how we are going to do is that, let's say for example, the syllabus is here, right? So ecology, agronomy, so this 8 subjects here, and here 7 subjects are there. Now what I am going to do is that I am going to choose like the most repeated and the most important themes in each subject. Let's say in ecology somewhere around like I am going to take 7 to 8 important themes, correct? So similarly from each topic I am going to take 7 to 8 important themes. In total definitely it will be crossing more than 100, right? So in those themes how I am going to deal is that I am going to take that theme, I am going to explain you in brief about that. Then what is the value addition you can make, and what is the like presentation skills you need. So all those aspects will be covered, right? I am going to give a glimpse of that what exactly I am going to do in the class afterwards, but this is what basic idea I can have, right? 100 MCQs or else 100 PYQs. What I meant is like this division of each subject, and from each subject I am going to take 7 to 8 important, most important themes. Clear? So 100 plus PYQs, that is what. So second one is test series. So this program it is like having an integrated test series itself. How that is going to happen? We totally have 4 tests here. So how that? So for example, if we are going to discuss about all these 8 topics in this first paper, after that I am going to give paper 1 full length, correct? So similarly it will be happening for paper 2 here. Paper 2 I am going to complete, and then paper 2 full length will be given. After that actually with how it is going to happen in the exam, morning paper 1, afternoon paper 2. So that simulation test will be given for the entire full length syllabus. Are you getting? So totally 4 tests will be there in the program itself, right? And the questions we are going to choose is like definitely it is going to be like cost to benefit ratio, because if you have read this article which is there in the Insights website, and there we are given the document like from the test series which we have conducted and actual like question paper which was there in the UPSC, like more than 70 to 75% of the questions were repeated, especially last year. Correct? So that reference document is also there. You can go and verify for yourself. Clear? In other words, definitely it is going to help. See, this is not again like something I have done great, because this is a technical subject and questions have been repeating. It has to repeat. Are you getting? So in other words, if you practice here, so definitely you will have that edge in the examination. So that is what I am trying to convey. Are you getting? Right? So as I said, test series. So third one, one-to-one mentorship. Right? So if you have any doubts like with respect to answer writing, with respect to anything for that matter, you can definitely come to me and you can ask your doubt, and I am going to solve that problem. Clear? So that is one-to-one mentorship. Next one is the topper, that is the topper from our last batch. She is going to take 1 session in this program where she will be focusing on like the examination mindset, especially when this mains is nearby. We are going to have this session where she will be explaining about like the examination challenges, how we can tackle that nerves in the exam. So all those topics will be covered by the topper itself, right? And if you have observed our promo video, there also I told you, we are trying to bring this subject experts. That is fellow friends who are in this services like ARS, right? So that is scientists. So we are going to bring them and they are going to teach their particular subject. Especially in this context, we are trying to bring for economics and extension, because in economics and extension, people always believe like nothing is there to read, because everything is like objectives, programs, etc. We have to buy it, and everything sounds similar itself. But he is going to explain in a very good way, right? So that for extension and economics, we are going to bring a subject expert. Correct. And last one, so what we are trying to do is that we are giving this extra like discount for the people who are writing mains this time, right? All that you have to do is you have to give your like admit card of your UPSC plus your name in that rank list. Then we are going to give additional discount. So already we are giving 10%. For like people who are writing mains this time, we are going to give additional discount also. So for that, just like I had already given my Telegram ID, so you can definitely send your details there we are going to give the additional discount. So these are the features, correct? So these are the features, how it is going to tackle you the problems, correct? But if I say like PYQ is like very, very important, not just for the people who are writing mains this time, also for the people who are going to write prelims next time, right? Now, how this is important is that, for example, let's say for any sport, what is the important thing? I think you might be following this Ashes, no? Cricket? At least cricket, most of you would have watched, right? So Ashes tournament is going on, yes or no? Yesterday some controversy happened, yes? What is that? No? Not watching? Busy in studies? Okay. Yesterday what happened is that, you know, Johnny Bairstow is a wicket keeper, correct, of England. So what was happening is that, like when ball was going to this wicket keeper, he thought that ball is dead. It is not in play, and he was just traveling towards the other non-striker end. So like the keeper was there, he just threw the ball, it hit the wicket, correct? And technically speaking, in the rules of the game, it is out only. It is out only. But in the spirit of the game, it is bad, correct? For the like nature of the game, it is bad. But on the examination day, whether we are looking at the rules or else on the spirit, it always matters about rules, correct? That rules have been coded in this PYQ. If you are going to analyze about the rules, then you are going to decode that rules. Understand the rules properly, then you are going to reduce your effort. Are you getting? How we are going to do that glimpse I am going to show, right? But basically this is like very important slide. Now, how exactly this classes is going to solve, or else how classes will be conducted, correct? So this is like biggest dilemma people will be having. So now I am going to address it. And this would be interactive things who participate. Now, so I have taken one subject here. So if you believe, if you remember, I told you that these are the main subjects. I am going to take the syllabus, and there I am going to identify 78 important themes. Remember, correct? Now what I am doing is that, so this is the syllabus which UPSC has given in the notification, correct? Cropping pattern in different agroclimatic zones, impact of high yielding varieties. Though the syllabus line is just in 5 lines for main core of agronomy, but every year how many questions are coming, or else let's say in the quantity of marks, how many marks is coming? Any guess? Have you been through the PYQs? Yes? Yeah, from agronomy, including weed science? 120, okay. Then that's it, okay. See, now what I am going to do is that similarly what will be happening, I am going to take one particular subject, after that I am going to explain you this thing, right? So this I have taken from 2017 till 2022, correct? So if you observe this number of marks which has come from just from agronomy, so it is varying from 135 is the highest from 2019, so 90, 75 could be the lowest one. But essentially if you are preparing well for the agronomy, in other words I can say that somewhere around 80 to 90 marks is for sure. Are you getting? So that much is very important for this subject, correct? That is one. Second thing, if we do the similar analysis for soil science and soil conservation, again the same analysis would be there. Because these two subjects combined together, it would be worth more than 200. It would be worth more than 200. Now we may say that so optional paper itself is for 500. But essentially considering the options which is given there, it would be more than 250. Are you getting? But 200 marks, somewhere around 200 marks itself is coming from soil science and agronomy, correct? Now, so this is one of the thing we can understand, but now important part is that, you know, in actual paper, question 1 and 5 is compulsory, correct? Whatever the question it is there, you have to answer it, correct? Now, so if we have the analysis like from agronomy, how many questions are coming in 1 and 5, that would be beneficial, correct? So that is what I am going to do. So just I have taken the 2 years paper here, so from 2021 and 2022, so in question 1 and 5, the compulsory questions. So if you observe in 2021, so there were 3 main questions, correct? So one is QPM, that is, what is QPM? Quality protein maize, correct? So on that the agronomical practices were asked, correct? So you can say it is in POP or else on the core of the agronomy, there also you can put the same thing. But essentially that question has come for 10 marks and in question 1 itself. In other words, that is mandatory, correct? That is one. Next one is weed management in rice, especially for both upland and lowland. So that was asked. And rainfed agriculture and technologies for like improvement there, correct? Of course, you can put this rainfed agriculture even in soil science or soil water conservation. But if you are going to put it here, again, it is worth 30 marks. 30 marks in just 2 questions. Are you getting? So that is to say, they are going to put at least 2 questions in the compulsory thing. In other words, at least 20 questions would be there from the agronomy in question 1 and 5. And if you are not prepared well for that, it would be tough. correct? So this is one. So from 2022, precision agriculture, see this is what UPSC is doing. See, precision agriculture can be used for 20 marks also. If you have seen the question papers, it has been asked for more than 20, for 20 mark question, 15 mark question, and also for 10 mark questions. The theme would be same, but the quantity, you have to justify it just for the marks given. Are you getting? So this is one. So here precision agriculture was related to resource conservation. Because in precision agriculture, what we are doing? VRT, have you heard? VRT, what is VRT? Variable rate technology, correct? So we are varying our rate of everything, application to the soil according to the demand, correct? If you are doing that, obviously we are reducing the resources, correct? So that is the link they had asked here. Yeah. So next one is bioagents and bioherbicides. So on that also the 10 marker question was there. Next one is nitrogen use efficiency in transplanted rice. Of course, again you can put in like fertilizer management in soil science, because rice is there and you are going to read in detail about rice, especially in the agronomy. So that's why I put here. In other words, at least 2 questions, and in best case scenario 3 questions would be there in question 1 and 5. Are you getting? So this is the analysis. If you have, definitely you can quantify which is important, which is not important, correct? You can categorize like syllabus according to the demand of the UPSC, correct? This is like first thing I am going to do about one topic. After that, after that I am going to identify the topic from where maximum questions have come every year, correct? So if you take the syllabus here, if you take the syllabus here, the third one, concepts of various cropping and farming systems. So this has been like very important theme for UPSC. And if you observe like every year question paper, not even alternate years, every year at least like 20 marks, at least somewhere around 15 to 20 marks is definitely going to come from this farming systems. Are you getting? From farming systems, definitely it is going to yield this much marks. Okay, can you say like what are the things which are under this cropping systems and farming systems? Are both same? Yes, are both same? Different? So what is this cropping system? Can you give an example? Cropping system? Intercropping, correct? Mixed cropping, then relay cropping, correct? So these are the types of cropping systems, correct? Now what are the farming systems we have? Correct? Organic farming, precision agriculture, conservation agriculture, integrated farming system, crop diversification, climate smart agriculture, conservation agriculture, sustainable agriculture. Just the list goes on and goes on, correct? But if you have observed the PYQs, at least one question, for sure at least one question, definitely it is going to come. In other words, 15 to 20 marks, for sure it is there. And now if you are like giving the mains, so this topic is top 1 priority, correct? Even if you are preparing for the next time, so this would be your top 1 priority. Yes or no? Right? Now, so I have taken a question itself, sorry. Okay, I have taken this question from 2022. It is for 20 marks, correct? So it is for 20 marks. Now, so the same thing it is going to happen in the class also. Now just take like 2 minutes, and I know like at this point of time to write the answer it would be tough, but just give me the structure for this answer. Construct the structure for the question, so that after that I am going to discuss the concept itself. Clear? So question is visible, right? For everyone? Yes? Is it visible? No. Visible or not? See, everybody has to write the structure. Structure writing is no big deal. Of course, writing the content would be tough. Everybody has to give the structure, and structure actually happens on the paper, not in the brain, right? So you have to write it on the paper. Now I am going to explain you this thing. How can you approach? What exactly is the demand of the question, and what is the value addition you can do in the answers, right? So to get that 0.51, so that is what the main focus would be here. Now, so if you read the question, it is simple. So basically there are 2 parts in this, correct? One is what is the significance of 2 methods have been given, DSR and SRI, and then describe the POP for direct seeded rice. So since this is a 20 marks question, so how many pages would be there in the exam? So ideally it should be 4 pages, but last time what happened is that they had given just 3 pages, right? In a way actually it is a blessing, but for those people who had extra knowledge, for them it is a burden, because they tend to write everything they want, but in this space management won't be happening, correct? So it is a double-edged sword, so prepare accordingly. Either it could be 3 or else 4. Clear? Now, so now first the significance is asked, right? So what is the meaning of significance here? Importance, correct? So if at all it is asked about the importance, can you write about the advantages? You can write about advantages, but the thing is contexting. So there are two words, one is content, second one is context. So in most of the cases what will happen is that you will have the content, but you will forget to context that according to the demand of the question, correct? So contexting is very critical. Advantage is correct, but if you are going to say, like let's say SRI method, it is going to conserve 20 to 30% of the water, that is the advantage. But here it is asking about the significance. So significance means something extra has to be done. What is that? Let's say for example, SRI, if at all it is conserving 20 to 30% of the water, then in other words you can say that we can bring rationality in irrigation practices. Water allocation to the sectors can be rationalized because irrigation itself is taking 80% of the total available water in India. Now we can, if we are reducing, other sectors can get better water. Are you getting? So this is the significance. Are you getting? Just writing like it is going to reduce to like 2%, 3%, etc. That doesn't matter. You have to add something extra to that. Then only that statement would be complete according to the demand of the question. Right? Up to here it is clear? Yes? Now how are you going to start this answer? How are you going to start? As you said, can you start with directly from the introduction? Yes or no? Yes or no? See, anything could be right. So there is no rigid formality in this answer writing, correct? Unless and until if you are not addressing the demand of the question, of course, then will be critical. If at all it is according to the demand of the question, it would be okay. Are you getting? Now what could be the, like I can say, one of the good ways to capture the demand of the question in the intro? Okay, actual meaning, then? How can you develop that context? Like exact data I don't need, or else exact thing I don't need. Can you think of like what sort of data, or what sort of context can you bring for this answer?
Areas where they are practicing.
Okay, that is one way. Good. Next. What sort of present scenario? Like where this is practiced exactly?
Practicing in our country.
Okay. Okay. So let me ask you like one of the basic question. Like why do you think like SRI method or DSR method is important? Correct? Then can we start with the answer with from water scarcity? Can give the realistic situation of India with respect to water scarcity? Yes or no? So that would be the better way, correct? See here I have taken that is from CWC, Central Water Commission. It is saying that the per capita availability of water in India is 1486 cubic meter. Are you getting? Somewhere around 14 lakh liters of water is what available for an individual per year. In other words, I can say this belongs to water stress category. Are you getting? So this part actually you read in the GS as current affair. But if you are going to use this, after this if you are going to put another data, actually to produce 1 kg of rice it requires 3000 to 5000 liters of water, correct? See, all the content will be known to you, but you are not putting into that to the good effort here. Are you getting? Both the content might be known to you, but if you are like mixing both together, is it not giving the realistic picture of water scarcity in India? Now if you give these two data, after that you say that because of this the I can say water productivity in agriculture has to be increased. So one of the ways to bring water productivity in agriculture is alternative methods of rice cultivation like SRI and DSR. Can you not go after this to this definition part? You can definitely go. Yes or no? Right? Sorry? Yeah, definitely. That is what I am trying to say. So build this context. Give this picture of scarcity. This scarcity actually could be solved by, as one of the solution could be DSR and SRI. If you open like this, and if I read like 10 or 20 answers, and if you have opened like this, won't I be impressed? Won't I feel like I ought to read this answer? Are you getting? It is just that ideology, making the reader to read your answer. That itself is the biggest task. If you are achieving that, believe me, most of the burden of like writing the good content will be solved there itself. Are you getting? Yes. So this is one. Now another mistake usually people do is that while they write these definitions, the meaning somewhere around it would be fine, but exact meaning will not be there. Are you getting? So to avoid that, what is the best way? To take institution definitions, scientist definitions, ICR definition, I have taken here I-ARI, that is International Rice Research Institute, correct? So they have given the DSR definition like this, correct? After that you can give SRI method definition, correct? Now once this has been done, after that it is asking about significance. So this much, hardly how much page it will take? Half a page, correct? In the beginning page, half a page would have been taken this, but the impact you have created on the evaluator, that would be immense, correct? After that you can move for significance. In significance, as I said, you can take this advantages only, but context it towards the significance. Are you getting? So let's say, for example, water scarcity is there. So water scarcity can say, so rice consumes about 50% of total irrigation water used in Asia. After that, if we give like savings from irrigation water 12 to 35% under efficient management practices, right? So these two will be complementing each other, and it will be giving much more broader information or else understanding than just this one point. Are you getting? So combining both together and creating broader impact. So that is what exactly the significance is demanding. Worst case scenario, let's say for example, if you don't know about this differentiation between like significance and advantages in the examination, at least the advantages, rather than writing the heading as advantages, write as at least significance. Are you getting? At the end of the day, evaluators, they will be searching for these headings. Whatever the demand of the question is there, it has to be in the form of subheadings. If at all it is there, then at least I will be satisfied. Okay, something has been written here, I can read. If at all that advantages is there, then I will be thinking like this person has not understood the question itself. Are you getting? So subheadings has a very, very critical role. So give heading as significance, and then in this way you can give the content for significance, correct? Now, another important point, POP, that is package of practices for DSR. Okay, since we are speaking about DSR and SRI, can anyone say what is the difference between DSR and SRI? Is both same? Are both same? No? Is there any difference at all? Okay, I have done like GS classes for you. No, not for anyone, right? Okay, because usually I teach this in the classes also. Okay, so have you heard, at least you would have heard the terms, correct? DSR and SRI. So what is the full form of DSR? So what is the literal meaning of direct seeding means? Yes? Broadcasted, correct? Line sowing, correct? Then in SRI, what are we doing? Transplanting, pakka? Correct. See, in DSR, what is happening, as the word itself is saying, and again there are three types in DSR only. And the important thing you have to remember in DSR is that there can be puddling, there can be tillage, but the important difference is we are not going for transplantation, we are just going for direct sowing of the seed. So that is the only difference. Remember that. If at all, like especially in the prelims or else even in the answers, if you just manipulate this statement saying that it will be grown in no-till conditions, so that is partially true but not entirely true. Are you getting? So don't make this sort of blunders in the definition itself. Are you getting? Now, in DSR, it could be puddling, it could be no puddling, or else it could be like, let's say, tilled, or else no tilled, or else even conservation tillage can be practiced, anything. After that, you are going to sow it directly. While sowing also, you can use pre-germinated seeds. Are you getting? If not, like water is standing, just like throw the seeds there. Usually in the Western countries, they are doing this, right? So just throwing the seeds in standing water, that is also one way. Correct? So this is the DSR method. Then what is SRI method? Systematic rice intensification, correct? So what is the meaning of intensification? No. What is the meaning of intensification? More? In a way you can say tillers, correct? Then intensity means what? See, you are just thinking in the context of agriculture. I am asking in general. What is the meaning of intensity? High volume. The speed will be more, or else anything which is in more number. Correct? That can be said as intensity. Now, systematically we are increasing something here. Correct? What we are doing is that systematically we are increasing both water productivity, nutrient productivity, and overall crop productivity. Are you getting? So this is the main understanding of the philosophy of this SRI. So what is the exact differences? In this traditional method, we are going for nursery. Here also we are going for nursery. So what is the difference? Age of seedlings, correct? So in the like traditional method, we are taking 25 to 30 days old seedling. Here we are taking 15 days old seedling. So again, what is the advantage? What is the advantage? Not maturity, it is about root hairs. See, for example, if you take uproot any plant, so there you can observe like small root hairs will be there along with the main hairs. This root hairs is very important for anchorage. Second thing is absorption of water and nutrients. While transplanting old seeds, what will happen? Root hairs will be damaged. That's why there will be less success in transplantation rates. So that's why while transplanting, how many seedlings will be transplanting? At least 2 to 3 seedlings per spot, correct? But here, 1 seedling per spot. And here also what we are doing is that we are going to have a grid pattern, right? The uniform spacing will be managed. Because of uniform spacing, what will be happening? Sufficient amount of all the resources from sunlight, water, nutrients, etc. will be given to the each plant, so that more number of tillers will be coming there. So that's why accumulate or else the aggregate yield will be more in this SRI method. The difference is clear, correct? Now after this in POP, of course, like we 3 methods are there, just you can mention this. After that you can start from land leveling. So from land leveling till this water management, like selection of the cultivars, planting time, etc. all these things. Are you getting? See, I'm just not explaining all these things because I'm giving this as a representative sample. Are you getting? So like as I said in the beginning, so this is what exactly it will be happening in the classes. So this is just one topic, that is farming systems. In that farming systems, we had taken like modified forms, correct? Modified forms of rice cultivation, correct? So this is what I am explaining here, correct? So same thing in the like farming system, we have organic farming, etc., etc. So the most repeated things I will be choosing and I will be discussing that in the class. And value addition, as I said in the beginning, what is the value addition here? Did you get anything extra from this existing material? Could be a Tamil Nadu Angro or like textbooks? No, nothing extra you got it. Huh? So that data, one thing, correct? And then this definitions, correct? So third important thing is the approach. So that itself is the biggest value addition. If not, you will just write like normal answers, then again you are going to get the average marks itself. Clear? So this is one. And okay. So this POP, and for POPs actually I am referring this like let's say research articles itself, because there you can have like a better idea, the examples which we want. So let's say for example here I have not given like details, but for example selection of cultivar, what type of cultivar is needed, what type of soil is suitable for SRI, DSR, all those details we have, so that we are going to discuss in the class. Are you getting? Yes, up to here it is clear? Are you enjoying? So next one, strategy. This is very important. So just listen here. So I am going to explain like 2 strategies. One, that is for people who are writing mains this time, and for people who are writing, aspiring for next year, that is 20 for 2024, correct? First, mains. Let's say for example, how many hours is in a day? We have 24 hours, correct? Yes, okay. Now, simple thing, we can divide into 12 hours, 12 hour and 12 hour. Now let's say, in this 12 hours, you are keeping for 6 hours for sleep, and in next 6 hours, let's say 4 hours it is going for your eating, traveling, exercise, etc. and still 2 hours is left. We will keep this as like a contingency plan, correct? We will keep this as contingency plan. Now, in this 12 hours, what you have to do in the beginning phases is that, see, I am telling this strategy for like those who are going to take this program. So for them, see, up to from 12th we are going to start the class. So up to 11th July, what you have to do is that, so from paper 1, soil science and agronomy, and in paper 2, which are the main subjects in paper 2 from where maximum questions are coming? Genetics, then physiology, then breeding. It is genetics, plant breeding plus horticulture. If we combine this, you will get very good marks. So up to 11th, what you have to do is that at least whatever the existing material which is there with you, just do one round revision of all these things, the main topics. Anyway, I am going to explain this in the classes, so that will be revision for you, right? So this has to be done up to 11th. So here also what you can do is that you can give 6 hours in a day, right? 6 hours in a day for this revision for your optional, and another 6 hours has to be given for your GS, correct? The main focus, as I said in the beginning, it should be for, what are the main subjects in GS? The focus should be given, correct? So that is GS for ethics plus essay. Right, so these 2 papers has to be sufficiently given importance here. And also, as I given like a brief understanding about our optional thing, right? So I told you that we have to identify the themes, and the highest yielding ones has to be revised properly and like practice more number of times. Same things apply for GS 1, 2, 3, 4 also. There also what you can do is that you can find this analysis there. correct? Let's say for example, if you are going to take this geography, and on average, how many questions are coming from geography? 8? Sure? Sure? So somewhere around 5 to 6 questions are definitely going to come from geography. In other words, it is having high cost to benefit ratio. But in GS1, there is another subject, world history. Hardly they will ask one question. If not, they will not even ask that question also. The cost to benefit ratio is very less, correct? Modern history, again 2 to 3 questions at least, correct? So in this scenario, just time also should be allocated in that proportion itself. Are you getting? And while reading that particular subject, also identify those areas from where maximum questions are coming and focus on that and revise that efficiently in this 6 hours, right? And also most of you would have like joined the test series for like GS also. So whenever your test is there, accordingly also you can plan. So this is like, I can say, one of the way you can balance the things. Of course, there is a flexibility for you, and accordingly you can adjust for your GS. So once this, let's say, classes is going to commence from 12th, what you can do is that, see, as of now, we have like at least 3 hours, or else somewhere, if at all it is interesting, we are going to push it for 3.5 hours, right? So 3 to 3.5 hours of like classes will be there for agriculture. Now, here, let's say for example, if I am dealing with agronomy, let's say I have taken like 8 themes. So apart from these 8 themes also, there would be moderately important ones. So which could be asked like in alternate years or somewhere around like in 3 years once that question or else theme could be repeating. So that theme list also I am going to give in the class. So now what you can do is that, especially for the mains people I am saying, so they can go back and what are the left out themes is there, they can revise that. And another important thing I forgot to tell you itself, see, I am going to give you one PDF. In that PDF, what will be there? All the topics or else the themes and the questions which I am going to discuss, that will be given in the booklet form, correct? Now before coming to the class itself, what you can do is that you can take that printout and what are the additional things I am going to say in the classes, and also like if at all it is very important and like it is tough for you to find value addition, that I am going to dictate in the class itself. So that you can make a note here itself, right? So this you can do the PDF thing, and as I said, like the rest of the things you can give another 3 hours or else 3.5 hours after going home, or else in the next day, and complete the remaining themes. In this way, at least by let's say another 20-25 days, you are going to complete your optional ones, especially the most important ones, correct? After that, what you can do is that you can have this 15 days phases, right? As of now, how many days is there for the mains? How many days? No idea? No idea? 70? 70, how many days? There is 73 days, right? 73 or 74, I guess. So these many days are there. Now, if we divide 15 phases, 60, correct? So if we divide this 15 days phases, and in this 15 days, give equally importance for both optional and GS, and by the 60th day, you are going to complete again one round. So even after that, you are somewhere having like another 15 days, correct? In that, like it has to be like very, very simple thing. That is, don't make this process complex. The examination is simple, the questions are going to be simple, but if you are going to look it in the complex lens of your eye, then it will be complex. So in the last 15 days, it is basically on this psychology. That is, revise whatever you want, but keep the process. That is, just imagine yourself in this examination hall and whatever the things it might happen. Let's say, while going to this examination hall, the cab driver or like auto wala, he can trouble you, like the change, etc. That might be the problem. Once you reach to the examination hall, let's say for example, worst case scenario, admit card has been forgotten. So that is another biggest blunder people make. After that, let's say if you have entered into the class, usually the government schools will be allocated, you know, like the benches, it will be making this squeaking sound. As let's say for example, some protest, something is happening in the street, so that might be like troubling you. As let's say the invigilators, they themselves will be talking in the classes, so that is also happening. So what I am trying to say is that just imagine in that last 15 days, you yourself being in the examination hall, and what are the worst possible scenarios it can happen. So be prepared for the worst case scenarios, and then what could be the solution for that? Ignorance is the only solution, right? So ignore them and focus on whatever the process you are doing, correct? So this sort of thing has to be done in the last 15 days, correct? So this 15 days, 4 phases, and then last 15 days, in this way you can manage. So this is mainly for people who are writing mains this time. So now I will say like another strategy which would be useful for people who are aspiring for next year. So this I'm going to say for people who are writing for next year. So 2024 aspirants. Now let's say there are two scenarios. One is people who are attending GS classes, correct? Plus your optional. And people who are doing self preparation for GS plus optional. Here also what you can do is that, let's say your classes, GS classes, if at all it is going for 3 hours. 3 hours, after that another 3 hours has to be given for revision of the same class. Let's say I'm saying, like, considering you are totally a beginner. So here the revision of the same class means, let's say if at all like modern history is done for you or some topic has been done. So the NCERT related to that, at least that has to be read on the same day, plus whatever the like things that I have been taught in the class, correct? So this is one. So 3 hours of the class, 3 hours of the revision. So 6 hours is done, correct? Another 1 or 2 hours in the beginning phases give for newspaper reading. So this is very, very, very important, and most of the people will neglect this, because newspaper reading, it will be like very important for current affairs is one. Second thing is about like developing the opinion. Especially if you read this editorials, it will be mainly written by subject experts, or else, let's say for example, at times like famous economists, they themselves will be writing the articles. If you read that, in other words, you are getting the opinion of that person, correct? So this is why newspaper should be done. So somewhere around 8 hours is done, and in a day at least give 3 hours, that is class, correct? 3 hours of our optional. If you are attending the class, I'm saying, even if not, at least 3 hours has to be given for optional reading. Now after that, by this time, practically speaking, you will be exhausted for the day, correct? So next day, early morning, what you have to do is that before going to your GS class, or if at all it is in the early morning, after your GS class, at least give another 3 hours for your optional. So as I said, so like 8 themes or else 9 themes that I am going to cover in the class. Apart from that, again I am going to give the list, right? So on that list, if you have made already notes, again revise it. If you have not made the notes, at least for those topics which is left out, for that make the notes, correct? Here what is happening is that your pace will be more. I understand it will be tough for you to like keep up the pace, but believe me, if you are going to like follow this process, by the 22 days, like most of the important topics which are there based on like PYQs, that will be done. In a way, I can say we are having crash course only. Yes or no? In limited period of time, we are going to cover most important themes. Yes. So that's why this crash course plus your notes making, it will be happening simultaneously. And in between also, if you have any doubt, you can come to me. One-to-one mentorship will be there. So there I am going to address your queries. Are you getting? So this strategy you can follow. Yes. So now last one, very important one is word of cautions. In a way I can say like do's and don'ts, what can be done and what should not be done. This I have learned from the hard way, because we have done these mistakes. Okay, what is the timings of the class? So timings as of now, there are 2 slots. One could be from 7 to 10 in the morning, or else it could be from 5:30 to 8:30 in the evening. So both are the possibilities, but most probably it will be from 5:30 to 8:30. Right. Okay, so word of questions, as I said, it is like do's and don'ts. So we have learned it in the hard way. So I am going to like simplify it. First thing I am going to say for the people who are writing the mains. So people who are writing the mains, like keep the process simple. So don't overcomplicate. Don't over expect the things. So I have put so many effort here, and I have like done 1 year of honest preparation. So I should be in the list. So all those things should not be there. So be like what I can say is a rational person. So when you are going to the examination hall, have this approach that, okay, I will be dealing on question basis. Whatever the question is trying to convey for me, I am going to stick to that, right? If you are following this, then like half of your burden would be done, correct? So this is like one of the like important thing you have to do. Second thing is that manage your time wisely, and don't have this idealistic approach, considering that I should have written like 10 tests, 20 tests, then only I should have been perfect, etc. That is not going to happen, correct? So whatever the best thing it is there, try to like maximize that, correct? To try to maximize that. So this is the second thing I want to say about for the mains people. And for the people who are aspiring for the next time, so for them, simple word of caution, or like word of advice I want to give is like be honest to yourself. because in this preparation, most of the times what will happen is that we'll have like very good target. The planning, if I see on your papers, when you come to us, I will be happy, thinking that if I had prepared like this, I would have been in the service. So that sort of planning would be there. But when it comes to implementation, not even 10% of it will be implemented. Are you getting? So in other words, try to keep realistic targets which are achievable in a day. Are you getting? So look at daily basis. And see, of course, you should have the bigger picture of getting into the list, but on a daily basis, it has to be sought out. Are you getting? So this is like very important advice I want to give. And second important thing is that, see here, management, self-management is very important, because you are most of the time it will go waste because you are not managing yourself. Somebody might be going through the social media all day, as they might be sitting in the class, but still they will be looking into the mobiles and they won't understand the importance of that particular thing. Correct? This is one. So see, going through social media is not bad, but essentially that should be productive. If at all it is not just happening as a waste of time, then it is of no use. Correct? That is one. Third important thing is like micromanagement of yourself, and give like time for everything. See, if you have chosen this preparation, it doesn't mean that you have to like completely isolate yourself from your family or from your friends. So there should be time for everything, for recreation, for your enjoyment, or else let's say for example, if you have like a habit of watching movies, like good movies I'm saying, so then give time for that. Like there also you can learn so many things, because like of course you are not in my GS classes, but in my GS classes of course I have taken like lot of examples of documentaries, of like movies, and believe me, like especially this wagging tail, the question was there in this prelims. So this sort of animal behavior I have discussed in the GS classes. So that would help them, right? So like out of curiosity, if you have these things, then that will be helpful for your own development, also for your examination also. So have a broader idea. Don't restrict yourself just for this preparation. Are you getting? At the end of the day, this is just an exam. So keep this in your mind, and don't attach yourself for this outcome. If you are thinking that if I pass this exam, then only the society will respect me, then it is not going to happen. You have to give respect for yourself in the beginning. Then only the society will respect you. Are you getting? And also, this is just like a entry gate for something, like entire new life would be there. Are you getting? But if you are like attaching yourself just for this examination, then it is not good for you. Are you getting? Yes? Yes? Right? So this, okay. So these are the things I wanted to say about the optional. So thank you all for patient listening, and soon we'll see you in the classes. Right? Okay. Thank you all. Yeah, I'll be available here for some time. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me. And for online people, you can definitely reach out to me in this Telegram ID which I had given in the beginning. Correct? Okay.